This man needs no introduction, but for the people who may not know, go ahead, introduce yourself. Let people know some of the joints you've been on and the legendary Diplomat crew. Let people know y'all legacy.
Well, for those that's not to know, it's your boy Rell, aka Mr. Ruger. And part of the legendary group Diplomats. Had a nice solo career, extensive catalog, featured on all the Diplomat projects, all the solos, crazy catalog with the mixtape.
Basically, just Google them. I mean, streets want to know mixtape.
Your fingers work.
For sure. Oh, I kind of want to start before you got with the Diplomats, because you came in an interesting era in hip hop.
Right.
It was still fierce competition in New York City. I call it, a lot of people call it the DVD era. So
I'm hearing that a lot.
Yeah.
DVD era, right?
Yeah, for sure. So this was an interesting era because it was like right before the internet. You see what I'm saying? Like MySpace might have been out at the time, but people didn't use the internet as a part of, their marketing strategy.
Right.
So if you can take us back to that time period and what it took to come up as an MC at that time.
I mean, at that particular time, there wasn't no social media, so you had to really be outside, like outside. If a nigga called you out, you had to pull up to a nigga block. You know what I'm saying? And there had to be several witnesses that verified it. So it was like, it wasn't no, it's kind of like throw a shot and hide your hand type of era. You feel what I'm saying? Like, you had to be hands-on pre-social media as far as an MC. And yeah, man, if you wasn't outside, you missed out on opportunities. You had to be in them ciphers. You had to have them bars. You couldn't have the same name as another nigga. And pre-social media, a nigga was pulling up to your block. I was trying to film it because we had no cameras. But it was niggas out there to verify niggas pulled up on you. Whether it was for some beef, whether it was you stole a nigga bars. You feel what I'm saying? Like, niggas took hip hop very, very serious prior to social media.
For sure. So who was some of like the MCs that might be recognizable that you was kind of running with during that time?
I don't know. I mean, it is public information, but prior to me getting down with Dipset, me and Fresh Montana was in a group together called DFL, Down for Life. And we had a lot of records together and shit like that. So yeah, that was what's going on prior to me signing.
For sure. So you also battled Poster Boy. This was before Dipset?
Yeah, that was before Dipset.
Right. And the point of me bringing that up is, programs, for sure, yeah. Prior to, during that time, 106 Apart Freestyle Friday, that was kind of advertised as a real opportunity for MCs, but it wasn't a lot of rappers that really came up after their, freestyle battle.
Right.
So
how lost that battle? I mean,
I thought you won, and I wanted to ask you about that too because it seemed like, was it biased amongst the judges?
To keep it real with you, he was on a winning streak.
Right.
And they wasn't trying to break that winning streak. They already had it written in the stars. He was going to win. But actually, Lil Wayne and Birdman was the judges, and Lil Wayne pulled me to the side that day and was like, yo, you nice. Like, you should have won that. But, they had the card fixed.
Right.
And if you go back and YouTube the actual episode, Wayne, after they announced the winner, Wayne was like, but nah, that kid from the Bronx was hard though.
For sure.
Wayne said that. So
Right. And how did you get on the show? Like, what was the process of getting on Freestyle Friday?
Some guy I was dealing with at the time, some guy that I was doing music with, my guy Stu, he had like a connection with 106 Apart. And he thought it was a dope idea for me to jump on there and do a battle. I was totally against it. I was selling crack at the time. I had no type of artist training. I'm like, I think I probably went to 106 Apart with some work on me. Like, I was definitely in the streets that heavy, but he convinced me. And looking back, I definitely did need that, because if I did win that battle, then I wouldn't be saying it
right. So what was your expectations when you found out, okay, you're going to be on 106 Freestyle Friday? The thought process is, okay, you do a program that's nationally televised, that's, instant exposure for an artist. So what was you expected to gain from doing that battle, even though you was against it?
I just wanted to stop selling crack. Like, I had no aspirations. Like, I had no aspirations of being a battle rapper or nothing like that. Wasn't my lane. But I loved hip hop so much, I just knew I wasn't going to get picked. Like, I felt like the cards was against me. Like, they ain't picking no hood niggas, no bums. So once I lost, that kind of like solidified my my thoughts of not me winning.
Right.
So that shit sent me back to the hood. I went back to the trap, and I kind of lost myself after that.
Right.
But I knew it was coming in.
So when you met Cameron, did he say, well, man, I saw you on 106 apart? You see what I'm saying? I say that jokingly, but, it kind of goes to my point, like you were saying the same thing, going on that show, on that program, it didn't help any artist whatsoever.
I was praying to God he ain't see it. Like, you know what I mean? I ain't want that shit to get out there, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
Losing on camera, on TV, don't get it fucked up. It's not a good look.
Right.
But it was a if you know thing. Like, nah, that nigga was nice, but still losing. I ain't want.
But if you look at it, in hindsight, and look at both verses, I felt like you overall had a better delivery, overall a better performance, and you was spitting that street, what I mean, that street shit. You see what I'm saying? So he was too, but I thought you was a little more aggressive, and overall you had the better performance.
I appreciate that.
Oh, no problem. I'll just my opinion. I
appreciate that.
So moving forward, after you battled on 106 apart, where did you go from there? Okay, it's like, what is the next step for Rell as an artist?
So my pretty much my artistry light died at that particular time. I went to New London, Connecticut with a friend of mine. He took me out there, and I said, fuck that, I gotta get it. And I was hustling, and I got locked up out there, and I caught a case. And I came back to New York, and I started hanging in Harlem with my man Brazzy, and I'm like, damn, I'm gonna have to go in for this case. You feel me? And just when I was about to go in for the case and shit like that, I did a freestyle and they got in Cameron's hands. He heard it, and he made me part of the game.
For sure. So did you sign with Dipset when you first met with Cameron?
Not when I first signed, because it was kind of a sticky situation. Like I told you, I had went to court, found that I had to do some time. So I'm like, okay, ball is rolling. I really got to go and do some time. And by that particular time, Cam signed to Rockefeller. We like 5, 6, 7 songs in, recording the bass line, Jay-Z in the studio. And I'm like, damn, I gotta turn myself in. But I don't want to tell Cam, if he find out I gotta go to jail, he might take me off the songs. So I'm like, yo, fuck it, I don't want to be a sucker and not tell him. So
right. It was best to be transparent.
Yeah, it's best to be transparent. He invested money. I'm seeing things getting bought in. Budgets is getting opened up. I'm like, yo, hold up. So I came in like a man, like, yo, Cam, I gotta turn myself in. He's like, word, for real? He asked for how long. I told him 1 to 3. He's like, yo, that's nothing. Word? He's like, kid, don't worry about it. When you come home, got the deal for you. It's lit. Gonna keep your name alive. And he was true to his word. So as I came home, picked me up from jail, rest is history.
For sure. So when you did the freestyle from jail, was you signed at that point, or how did you get everybody in jail to be quiet?
I told niggas shut the fuck up. I'm about to freestyle. This shit going on the album. Niggas already knew who I was. You know what I mean? It was love. It was respect. Not saying I punk niggas, but like, yo, it is what it is. It was all love, and at that particular time, I wasn't on contract with Cameron. This was 2002. I turned myself in. We started recording songs like around November 2001. So when I was in jail, I was actually on Rikers Island. So I freestyled on the phone from Rikers Island. And I had no idea he was going to put that shit on the album. I heard it like everybody else. A few months later, niggas called like, yo, that shit was on the album. You got a freestyle. I can't believe that shit. I kept a real nigga for that.
Word, for sure. So when you first came out of jail, you was kind of immediately put in the spotlight doing, album appearances, videos, the DVDs, etc.
Right.
So what I basically want to know is, what was the delay of you putting the album out?
I mean, at that particular time, I was on fire. Like, how Rell home, fresh out, on fire, scorching. But, I mean, now that things settled down and, it's out in the open, it was, pretty much the turmoil between Cam and Jim and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? There was a lot of turmoil. There's a lot of shit going on in the background. And unfortunately, I felt the bad stick. I got the short end of the stick of that.
Right. Most definitely.
I got the short end of the stick of that. But it kind of made up, Cam kind of like made up for like making me the star in Killer Season.
Right.
Because if you really look at the movie, it's me, him, and Jewels on the cover.
Right.
Not Jim.
Right.
Not jail writer, me, Jewels, and Cam on the cover. And me through the whole movie.
Right.
So he made me a movie star. It was like, you feel what I'm saying? Like the celebrity was there. And I can't, I can't complain because, it was what it was. But like, I had to eat one for the team. You know what I'm saying? There was a lot of shit going on in the background, and unfortunately, Cam didn't get a chance to show my project enough attention the way it should have been shown.
Right, because you definitely had a classic. For the hell of it, everything from the album cover to the actual content, the lyrics.
I'm gonna cut you off, but a lot of people don't know. Me and Cam had an album together.
Right.
I'm the only diplomat that me and Cam did a whole album together. Didn't come out because a lot of the turmoil. There was a lot of shit with him and Jim, Jewels, like nothing with me. So it was like I was frustrated behind the scenes, but I ain't never go to the internet like a sucker and talk shit about Cam, and I wore it. So a lot of the shit that took place behind the scenes, I wore it. But I was a team player. I ain't cry about it.
Right. So, you mentioned being in the movie Killer Season. Was there an actual script for that movie, or was it a lot of improv?
Yes and no. There was a script for the movie, and it was a lot of improv. You know what I'm saying? So we had like a script to like pretty much go by, but like the directors and the PDs on the scene was pretty much telling us improv and be natural with the characters. So a lot of that was natural. A lot of those lines we came up with ourselves and shit like that.
Right. So yeah, I also got to ask you this, like as far as like a turmoil is concerned, what did you think when Jewels and Jim Jones got on the stage with 50 Cent? That was kind of, at the time, that was kind of crazy to me because y'all was always, pushing the family. And then, for them to do that, to me, it just looked crazy. So did you know they were going to do that? Because it kind of affected you directly as a solo artist.
I mean, I had no idea at that particular time, niggas was in the problems of their career, so it was like, you couldn't really tell a nigga nothing. Like, not me, like, but that was a crazy time in hip hop. You feel me? But yeah, man, like I ain't know. I had no idea. And Jim and Jewels was on their own time at that particular time in their career.
Right, most definitely. So, but you put it out, for the hell of it, did you feel as though you got the support that you needed for that record from your the other group members?
Yeah. I mean, whoever I wanted to work with at that particular time, that wasn't a problem. But Cam was on the album. He wasn't in the video for the single, which could have pushed the record a little bit more. But like I said, man, it was crazy times at that time. It was spicy.
Right.
It was a lot.
It was a lot going on.
It was a lot.
It was a lot going on.
Like besides the music, it was a lot going on. You know what I'm saying?
Right. So with that, you know, in hindsight, you know, like you mentioned, it was a lot going on. It was a lot of stuff going on in the streets. Do you feel as though like incorporating the streets and the music, was that the best idea for the group at that time?
I mean, that's a marriage. You know what I mean? Those go neck and neck. You can't divorce them. That's a marriage that's just going to be...
So you kind of like accepted, okay, this is what it is because this is what we put it out there.
Yeah, that's the type of music that's being made. That's the type of entourage that's around. Niggas come from those type of backgrounds, so... Yeah, but I get what you're saying, though. It was a lot of people who were part of entourages that put their 2 cents in the shit that had nothing to do with music, that did fuel the flame.
Right.
And shit like that. So, to your question, yes, there was elements that necessarily didn't have nothing to do with music that didn't need to be
right. So if that element wasn't around, do you think that could have pushed you guys even to the next level? Because y'all would have on the cusp of like commercial success.
Right.
You know, so if that element wasn't around, you think y'all could have kind of got over the top?
Yeah, and that kind of happens with a lot of groups. That's not really with Diplomats. You know what I'm saying? Because it's like, you know, pretty much when a group starts out, they're all one group.
Right.
And then when other artists in the group become famous, they create their own group.
Right.
So when the group members meet up, they're all showing up with their own separate entourages. And that can cause ego problems. That can cause all type of turmoil that don't got nothing to do with music. You feel me? So a lot of that definitely did take place, and it took place in all other groups.
Right. And I kind of mentioned that because y'all got so many moments, like monumental moments, you know, for hip hop. Like a prime example, we y'all freestyled 3 songs back to back on a radio station.
Oh, classic.
Yeah, that was a classic moment, and that ain't had nothing to do with the streets or anything.
Right.
Even though y'all might have had the street content, but it was just straight. That was a lyrical exercise that was never done before,
and never done after.
And never done after. So, can you take a moment and take us back to that time and tell a story how that came about? How did y'all prepare for that?
I almost got dropped for a label fucking with that freestyle, man.
For real?
Yeah, Cam. Nah, I'm just joking, but Cam had us like me and JR in the studio rehearsing all fucking night. Mind you, like you said, we went up there and we performed 3 songs a piece. Live.
Right.
Never recorded them. We just went up there and performed them live with hooks. Feel me?
Yeah. So
we had to memorize those songs, and I remember I was in there, and Cam was smoking a blunt. He like, yo, spit the songs that you wrote. And I was spitting them, and you know when you usually write a brand new rap, you like, you know, you kind of like, if you ain't get it down pat, you gonna fuck up. I kept fucking up. He like, yo, you see? That's what I'm talking about, man. You gotta get your shit right, B. You can't be fucking up on the radio, man. Keep rapping like that. You ain't going on the radio. Can't never talk to me like that. So like, oh shit. This nigga JR, he ain't fuck up at all. You know, all his rap. So Kim, yeah, JR, that's what I'm talking about. You supposed to be rapping like that. I'm pissed. These always players against each other and shit like that. So you know, JR sitting there, his little Kool-Aid smile and shit. So we like, yo, you think you need a break or something? I'm like, nah, I don't need no break. I got this shit. So I went out, I left out, in another room, focused up, just rolling on my face or something. Keep this shit right. Came back, spit everything. He like, ooh, okay, that's what I'm talking about. Mind you, this nigga over there practicing. Platinum artist, you feel what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, multi-million nigga sitting there practicing his raps. So once I seen his work ethic that night, I'm like, nah, this nigga's different. And we went up there, we performed them records, and that shit was monumental.
Yeah, it definitely was.
Definitely
And what I loved about it was the competition aspect of it. Because like Cal was saying, like y'all gonna go home and write real hard, and like after hearing this, you kind of forcing other MCs to step their game up. You know, like we reset at the bar. You know, for lyricists.
Live songs on the radio. Niggas ain't never do that yet.
Yeah. Haven't been done since, most definitely.
Yeah, so it's like, you know, that was kind of like that was a plus.
Most definitely. And it also kind of rose your legendary status up a couple notches too after doing that.
Yeah, definitely. After that, it was like, nah, you go there, man.
Yeah.
Like, y'all niggas is different.
Around, I'm gonna say like 2008, 2009, right around the time of Black Bass, Black Gloves, you had an interview on, was it Real Talk New York, and you was basically saying you was a free agent. You know, so what made you come to the conclusion that it was best for you to kind of move forward from the Dipset situation?
I wasn't necessarily move forward with the Dipset situation. It was pretty much moving out of Koch's system.
Okay.
You feel what I'm saying?
Right. Okay, so it wasn't a Dipset issue, it was a Koch issue.
Yeah, that was like early stages of clickbait.
Right.
You go to the interview, I ain't saying nothing about this and Dipset and leaving the group.
Right.
You feel what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, I ain't like the way Koch was doing business. Like, once I started learning the game, I knew that they were supposed to pay me for being on other projects that's being released on the label.
Okay.
Whether it's a group member or whatever. Like, if me and you in a group, like Jim put out an album, Jim, you gotta give me nothing. The label gotta pay me.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You gotta give me coin. Like, we brothers, Dipset for life. The label gotta pay me.
Right.
And they started doing like little slick shit, so I kind of felt like I'm a free agent from them. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not signed to Koch no more. So that wasn't like, no, I wasn't down with Dipset.
Right, but the DVD definitely tried to make it.
That's what I said. It was early clickbait. Right now, there was no phrase for that back then.
Right.
Now you know what clickbait is. How Rell leaves Dipset. Watch the video. I don't say nothing about Dipset.
And now that you say that,
right,
thinking back on it, you was like utmost respect towards Dipset in the whole interview, but the title read like you leaving Dipset.
I ain't saying nothing about leaving Dipset. That was early clickbait. So we'll put that video out monetized like a motherfucker back.
Yup.
You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, that's early clickbait. I ain't say nothing about leaving Dipset. Like, you know what I'm saying? I pretty much at that particular time, I wasn't doing no business with Dipset, under Dipset for Koch.
Right.
Like that.
Right, because you still continue to work with Dipset. Like, even to this day, you know, you still doing songs with.
Came out in 2007, 2008. I done did wild songs with Cam and all type of shit projects with him after that.
Yup.
You feel what I'm saying? So that wasn't nothing personal.
So how do you maintain a presence in hip hop? You know, over what has it been, like 20 years? You know, since you first released a project.
Uh-huh.
So how do you maintain a presence in a game where it's now becoming oversaturated, but you still remain the cream of the crop as a lyricist?
I mean, that just came from the hard work I put in. You feel what I'm saying? Like, Uncle used to be a hard-working man, and he wasn't really a part of, like, he didn't really have a big position in the company, but he been there for 20 motherfucking years.
Right.
You feel what I'm saying? So when I used to go to the job with him, they used to treat this nigga like he was Obama. So I'm like, yo, what's up, man? Why the fuck they treat you like that? He's like, nah, man, I've been here for years, man. I've seen motherfuckers come and go. They know me in this building. So I kind of relate that in my career to my uncle and his career.
Yeah.
They know me in this motherfucker.
Right.
You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah.
From the janitors to the CEOs come in my office and want to talk to me. You feel what I'm saying? Been here a long time. Do I own the company? No. But this company won't be shit without me.
Facts.
Hey, yo, check it out. This is the Wild Cowboy with a lot of style boy, one of one. Punks him up to get beat down. Slow down. Hey, baby. And I'm here with Circle the Block. You understand that? The great Sadat Circle the Block. Peace.
Word. So explain the Golden Triangle series. Let people know where they could get those projects and kind of explain the concept behind it.
Well, Golden Triangle is pretty much a area in Asia where all 80% of the heroin came from in the 1960s and the 70s and shit like that. So you got Saigon, you got Vietnam, and it forms this triangle, and that's where all the heroin comes from. So I said, I'm gonna put out some dope. This is where all the heroin's coming from.
Right.
I am the Golden Triangle. And that was just me, like, coming out of, I realized I've been independent my whole career. All this shit that these niggas are screaming, yo, get your masters, independency. I've been independent my whole career. And a lot of projects that I did deals with, they was, I didn't sign no digital licensing. And a lot of the companies just put my music on Spotify and shit like that. So once I got back a lot of my projects and ownership of a lot of my masters, I put out the Golden Triangle series, and that was like the first time of me tasting some real independent money without a company in my pocket, trying to get a piece of it. And it was a good success. So I put out that trilogy. And that was just to test the waters. So now we're going back in with the shit. You know what I'm saying?
For sure. So what can we expect in the future?
My solo album with me and JR write up. Another solo album. The book, I Want to Thank Me. That's going to be my event too. I Want to Thank Me. Because at the end of the day, like, the lot of losses I took from my life, my mom's, my father, my grandmother dying. Like, I went to crazy opioid addiction, and it wasn't no aid, no rehab, nobody talking to me. I snapped out that shit. I said I deserved better. I got my shit back together. So the book is kind of like me weathering those storms and thanking myself for wanting to see myself do better.
So did that addiction affect your production as an artist?
I stopped recording for like a whole year. A whole year I stopped recording. I ain't write a song. I ain't even listen to music for a whole year. A whole year I ain't listen to music. That shit fucked me up. So I think that was like the whole year 2018. I ain't listening to no music. I was musicless. I took a break from that shit. It was like doing that shit for mad years and years and not like getting into yourself. I took a whole fucking year off, bro.
Wow. Yeah, like how people say you kind of walk to a beat. So I couldn't imagine a world without music. You see what I'm saying? So it's safe to say
I'm a music person. Like, music controls my life. So like, listening to certain songs, I just found myself crying. Like, I didn't know who to cry for. My mother, my father, my grandmother. Like, every song just made me emotional. So I had to stay away from that shit.
So how did you get to a point where you can say, okay, I could record again, I could listen to music again?
A lot of fans, bro. Niggas kept me in me, yo, we'll go with that shit. Where you at? Like, I could screenshot that shit, like, the fans, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like, if it wasn't for them niggas, I wouldn't be rapping.
For sure.
Like, the fans, like, I'm like, nah, I can't do this to niggas. So you fall in and out of love with yourself, especially when you're an artist. And so you got a real love-hate relationship with yourself. One day you feel like a piece of shit. You got millions, you got money, you got cars, you got jewelry, but you being a real nigga, this is not having the ego. This is you knowing you. You know what I mean? You might wake up and just not feel like a piece of shit. And go online and the nigga DMs you, yo, Ruby, you my favorite artist, nigga. You got me to high school, nigga. Where that new shit at?
Right.
And that comment right there made me want to throw some beats on and start writing and then want to put out a new project. Because that nigga right there said that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And that be the motivation. Because the damn show ain't the fucking money. Spotify ain't paying a nigga on a fraction of a penny.
Right. Yep. That's it.
You understand what I'm saying? So like if you got any type of music out of me, nigga, you feel what I'm saying? Like it was out of the law. It was out of me loving the craft and not wanting my fans to wake up every day and check the internet and ain't gonna know how roll out.
Yup.
You feel me? Like I come from a consumer buyer's background.
Right.
Like if I ain't having to work on the block, I felt disgusted. I couldn't fuck a bitch. I couldn't party now. We gotta feed the block. And I kind of treat hip hop the same way. But unfortunately, these devils and these satanic motherfuckers is controlling Spotify and these digital streaming platforms. They paying us pennies and it definitely ain't money motive. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like you see what Snoop said, nigga, see, had over $1 billion streams, they sent them a check for 15,000. Fuck is that?
That's crazy. So do you feel like it's a new form of slavery?
Yeah, it is. Because they know that you gotta feed your fans. You feel what I'm saying? So
Right,
it's like,
right. Yeah, people only consume music now through these streaming
platforms.
Right.
And Spotify could tell me I only stream 3 million, or 4 million, or 5 million, or 10 million, or whatever the fuck they want to tell me. And I just gotta respect that. There's no office that I can go to, me and my lawyer, audit them, sit down. Everything is through email. You gotta talk to Spotify and these digital streaming platforms through email. You can't get Apple Music, Spotify. None of these niggas on the phone, if you feel like they stealing from you. If you feel like, nah, 10 million. I'm lit on the ground. I'm doing this, I'm doing that. They lying to niggas. They just telling you whatever the fuck they want to tell you. And
you gotta accept it.
Yeah, because they got the algorithm, they got the analytics to back it.
Right.
So you can't challenge their analytics. Before you could audit them niggas, nah, pull the books out. Nah, you're gonna tell me that I only sold 300,000 records, but meanwhile I went triple fucking platinum in Germany? Is you serious? Make this shit make sense.
Right.
So now they created a matrix to whereas you can't. It's impenetrable, bro. You can't penetrate.
They got like a visible force field or something.
It's a matrix. They created it. Once this algorithm shit came out, it's like they can lie to you.
And now it's even crossing over to sports betting.
Mm-hmm.
You know, even like Uber drivers and stuff like that. You know, they got like the market set up where you can only make a certain amount of money.
All right, man. Hey, y'all better be circling the block for Circle the Block Radio if you know what's good, nigga. Know what I mean?
Appreciate
Shout out
it.
my man, Rell and Q.
No doubt.
So now we live in an era where the internet, Instagram is like at the forefront. So when you log on to whatever social media website it is, do you see more positive or negative images when it comes to rap?
None but negative images. Negative images. Like, they ain't talking about how we selling out tours and arenas and we the number one music genre in the world. Like, we don't get as much credit as we should. They definitely downplay hip hop.
And why do you think that is? Like, how do we get to this point? That's kind of what I want to get to. Like, how do we get from the 5 elements, which expanded to 9 elements, where you come from in the Bronx,
right?
You know, like where it was true artistry, and it was kind of used as a tool to get away from the streets. And now we at everybody's killing each other, everybody's a gangster, even though they not. Like at one time, you know, it's balance. You know, there's nothing wrong with gangster rap or, you know, hardcore rap, but you also had the positive rap, the party music. It was well rounded. Now it just seemed like it's one thing. How did we get to that point?
these music companies, man, you know, they follow trends. They watch what's going on, and they the ones that fuel the fire and shit like that. But like you said, like we always had different elements. You had the party, the Kid and Plays, and Will Smith, Summertimes, and the Poor Righteous Teachers with the positive shit. And like that element kind of like, I think they kind of like targeted that element because it was raising the frequency in the community. You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, like, they got rid of that whole genre. Like, if you notice, there ain't no genre with that. Like, who's the new Common Sense, Talib Kweli, or Mos Def? You feel what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, you got a few of them that's trying to get in, but like their genre has just been totally wiped the fuck out.
Mm-hmm.
And we always worked with that genre. Like, we ain't never like look down on the backpackers and the positive niggas. We collabed with them. Jay-Z did songs with the Mos Defs in them. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, you know, like that genre kind of got wiped out because I think they knew that shit was making niggas, you know, become more conscious.
So with all that being said, do you consider hip hop healthy?
As far as,
you know, overall, you know, as us as a culture, you know, even beyond rap, you know, is hip hop in a healthy space?
nah, frequency is off. Frequency is definitely off. It's off.
It's your boy Sweaty, and you know I'm rocking with Circle the Block.